Morena, gentlemen, welcome to another fantastic day of online learning. And today we're going to be looking at promotion as one of the 4 P's of the marketing mix. Now, promotion is essential so that our target market segment, or consumers generally, if we're using mass marketing, know about our product, how much it will cost them, and where they can buy it. Now, promotion uses a range of different mediums, and advertising media is perhaps the most familiar to us, seeing we're exposed to it in our daily lives on television. If we're lucky enough to go to the cinema, maybe event cinema down in Newmarket, and at the start of the movie, right before the actual screening of the film we've gone to see, we'll come across some high-profile ads by big companies. Display signs, the big neon lights. So various parts of Auckland, you'll see advertising of businesses with these big flashy lights. I can think of a certain Scottish restaurant with a big M, a big yellow M that's sort of nicely lit up. You can see from quite some distance away. Perhaps even petrol stations advertise big neon signs. Newspapers, absolutely. Newspapers, I guess, are more often on online these days, but there's still hard copies out there. You might have some rattling around your house. Your parents are into reading a hard copy. My parents certainly are, and throughout those newspapers, there are advertisements for companies. The radio, absolutely. I'm a big fan of News Talk ZB, and Mr. Hosking and the rest of his friends there actually themselves read out ads for businesses. Posters, if you go around the city, I'm thinking about perhaps in the Auckland CBD, down around 4th Street, maybe in and around the Viaduct. You'll see posters advertising various businesses and also events. Might be for a concert that's coming on, got a musical artist in town, or it could be in a bus shelter. You've got some ads in there. Direct mail and leaflets. So these are things that might pop up in your letterbox, whether they've been targeted to you as a previous customer, or you've got just a general leaflet that's been dropped around by some person doing some advertising for a business, advertising a particular product or service. I've had leaflets pop into my letterbox about lawn mowing services. I don't know what that says about my lawn. And in magazines. So absolutely, perhaps the next time you're at the dentist or similar, and they've got magazines in the waiting room, have a wee flick through and see what kind of ads you can find. But I think you're going to be aware that the ads for the businesses in the magazine will relate to the type of magazine that you're reading. So a car magazine, you would expect that it's advertising products that relate to the automobile or vehicle sector. Personal selling. So this comes in the form of person to person. What I mean is a person who works for the business is directly selling the product of the business to a potential customer. Now it could be door-to-door sales. Think about Nova Energy, fantastic ad there on television. Or it might be at trade fairs, so perhaps maybe at Big Boys Toys. Could be it's often the case that it's more expensive products, so it's justifying one person going out there and really investing in a relationship with a potential customer because they might buy a very high value product. So I'm thinking perhaps field days down in Hamilton would be an example of that as well. Public relations, so businesses can promote their businesses through sponsoring other organizations. Could be sponsoring a sports team. They could be looking to make donations. So absolutely might be looking to support the fantastic Auckland War Memorial Museum or the Auckland Zoo. just to, well, not only support a great cause, but to associate the business's name and product with that other organization. They might be sponsoring community events. So that could be the likes of a sporting event that might be in a community, maybe a touch tournament or a b-ball tournament, and a local business might come out and sponsor that to help get that great cause operational, but also to associate their brand with that community event. And charities as well. Absolutely, charities do an amazing thing in New Zealand, and businesses do stand up and support them, and they do get that reciprocal benefit of being associated with these charities. In the store itself, the customer service that businesses workers provide absolutely promotes the products of the business. The different payment options that you can make available to your customers, whether you're doing likes of a, hey, you buy take the product now and pay later situations. Those will absolutely promote the business as being more friendly to certain groups. Online payments, absolutely, it's going to be more suitable to certain target markets. How the good is delivered as well. You'll find that purchasing some goods, you might find advertising amongst that packaging slipped in there for another product that the business sells, along with the rest of the product disclosures and the after-sales service. These all feed into promoting a business and its products to existing customers and potential customers. So why should a business advertise its products and brands? Well, ultimately they want to increase sales by making consumers more aware of their products. It's especially important if a business is launching a new product or it's just starting out, because it's got to make sure that people are actually aware of the business and its new products. So in a summary point, they attract new customers to the brand, whether they're the first customers or just a new customer to an existing business. So as part of the advertising as well is to target the existing customers of the business. If you don't appeal to your existing customers, they might leave you to the competition. So it's critical that we are, as a business, reminding our existing customers how fantastic we are and the unique selling points of our products. We don't want our competitors coming in there and taking our customers and our share of the market. Share of the market is that percentage of total customers who buy a product, that of that total amount who buy a product, who buy our product. So if we sell 20% of all products, cheese products in a market, then we've got a 20% market share. And that's a demonstration of the superior specifications or qualities of our product compared to competitors. So really driving home our product's USP, and it might be at the expense of reminding or informing customers about the inferior qualities of the competitors. It's also critical that we are using advertising when we've made an update to our product or have updated it or adapted it in some way to be more appealing to a different target market segment. So we might have made our product more environmentally friendly than it used to be. Let's let consumers know about it so they don't have an outdated view about the environmentally friendliness of our products. An advertising campaign. So this is the activity that a business undertakes where they formulate a particular style of ad and get it onto the advertising mediums for hopefully consumers to like. So when planning a campaign, a business needs to consider its purpose. Is it to expand into a new market? So we're targeting a new market segment here. Are we going for a different part of the market that we haven't previously been targeting? Are we just looking to increase our market share? Perhaps this might be a bit of a mass marketing exercise. We're not really focusing on any one particular market segment. We just want more of the total amount of people who buy a product. Or it could be to enhance the brand of the business. Maybe we feel like people are perceiving our product in a particular way or business in a particular way that we think we could improve on. Might relate to a previous activity of the business that customers didn't like, or maybe they just think that our business is a bit outdated. So it might be time that we update our image with customers. So of course we need to decide on how much we're going to spend our advertising budget, because businesses have limited means, limited resources. So we want to be mindful of how much we're prepared to spend before we undertake our advertising campaign. So to create the advertising campaign, we've got to identify our target audience, so who we want to be communicating to, and create imagery and a narrative that will appeal to them. So imagery is what customers see in terms of the advertising material, or see, hear, feel, taste. It appeals to their senses. And the narrative of the ad. So what is the story in the ad? Because the images and sounds alone are not what appeals to target audiences or target market segments. There's often a story involved in an ad, and businesses have to make sure that narrative, that story, is going to emotionally appeal to that target market segment. Our business then has to select the appropriate media of choice, which will reflect the purpose of the ad. So if we want to boost our market share, we might have to use mass marketing, go on television at prime time. But if we want to expand into a new market segment, perhaps we're going to need to target some advertising media that's going to appeal to specifically that market segment. So, example there, if we're looking at selling bicycle helmets, maybe we've been selling skateboard helmets, we'd probably want to be in a cycling magazine. If we were selling fishing and hunting gear, we'd want to be in a fishing and hunting magazine, perhaps, as opposed to advertising in the gym. So who our target audience is, the target market segment, is critical to the media that we choose. Then once our ad campaign has been running, and whether it's continuing to run or has reached a conclusion, we want to begin evaluating how effective the campaign was. i.e., have our sales increased as a proportion of the market? Perhaps we want to be sending out some surveys to the market and asking them to tell us about what they think about the brand. Have our sales increased for a particular market segment? So we want to make sure that that budget that we've used in our advertising campaign has turned into something that materially helps us to achieve that objective. We want to see, ideally, an advertising campaign turning into positive outcomes for a business. So whether an advertising campaign is deemed cost effective, that being the benefits from the compared to the costs of running it, will determine whether or not we'll have to make major or small changes for future advertising campaigns. Alrighty, activity just today. I conscious you guys did the activity yesterday. It's just to complete task 12A of the workbook. Any questions or issues today, guys, please absolutely do email me at t.horrocks@ags.school.nz. Otherwise, have a tremendous day. Kia kaha.